Hello my friends, you're listening to Ebird Online, and today I've got a working hypothesis for you. It's as follows. Jasmine will do anything to get to the United States, and irrespective of Gino's behaviour, she'll cling on to him for dear life. So guys, last week Jasmine let Gino know that someone had contacted her via social media and threatened to put her nudes on the internet. Gino pretty much said, who cares? And somehow this week, Jasmine goes to Gino to apologise. Oh guys, I literally couldn't believe my ears. So this video is going to have an eclectic look back at Gino and Jasmine's relationship, right up to and including his proposal of marriage, which happened this week. And I'm going to try and break down all the evidence that leads me to the not unreasonable conclusion that Jasmine is doing a smash and grab on a green card and nothing else. But before I break it down to you, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've yet to do so. Guys, help to make Ebird a very happy Ebird. And also a massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed to me thus far. My channel's really thriving now, and it's thanks so much to you guys, so thank you so much for that. And also, don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoy the video. Thanks guys, and so without further ado, I give you Gino and Jasmine. And so this week the episode begins with Jasmine telling us that she feels terrible for looking at Gino's emails and catching him out on yet another lie. And this lie was apparently that he went to Legoland with his ex-girlfriend and he never told Jasmine about it. And for once, and one time only, I don't blame Gino for this. The blame lies fairly and squarely with Legoland. It's extremely expensive, yet so shit and boring that he completely forgot about it, as well he might. But it's what happened next that made me really recognise Jasmine's not for real. For Jasmine explained, I haven't seen Gino for hours. I let him know that I'd been threatened about these nude pictures, but Gino didn't really understand. What? What didn't he understand? He did understand. He just thought, I don't really care. I'll brush it under the carpet. Jasmine's not stupid. She knows good and well that if this story is true, if someone is going to release these photos to the internet, she'll more than likely lose her job, lose her career, and also it would just be mightily embarrassing. And Gino understands this very well. He knows how he feels when anyone whips his hat off. Like I said before, it's that times a gazillion. And actually, before I continue, just another aside. Loads of you guys have commented, it's no big deal for Jasmine. Look at the way that she was walking around the holiday resort with her boobs out, her butt out. And I kind of addressed this at the time, but not properly. My thoughts on this are as follows. 1. She's on a private island, on a beach resort, and she's wearing a bikini. What do you wear when you're on holiday? I know I wear a bikini. And so in my mind, what she was wearing was entirely appropriate for where she was. That's the first thing. Secondly, the TLC camera crew have a lot to answer for there because they decided to stay 6 feet behind her at all times and actually focus the camera on her butt in a way that I haven't seen them do with anybody else. If they wanted to, they could have trained the camera at her head or done what they usually do, which is try and race in front of the person and actually be able to see their face as they're ranting and raving and walking along. Camera crews really often get in front and they walk backwards. This wasn't done with Jasmine, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not Jasmine's fault. Just because she wears a bikini on the beach doesn't mean that Gino has the right to send other people her nude shots. I don't see where the correlation is. It really was a surprising comment to me, but it came up again and again, and I did want to address it. And so Jasmine went on a search of the resort, looking for Gino, and when she found him, she started crying and saying, I love you, like a lot. And she said, I'm sorry for my actions and my words and everything that hurt you, and I forgive you for your stupidity. Jasmine, you forgive someone when they say they're sorry. We haven't heard that yet from Gino, and I'm not holding my breath. And just to prove my point that Gino isn't really sorry and doesn't really care, Gino told production, Jasmine's continually punishing me over and over again for some mistakes I made, and that's what's making it hard. And he even said to her, as they were sitting talking, I understand you're upset, but I was trying to have a good conversation with you. Guys, Gino takes no responsibility whatsoever for his role in this. But Jasmine seems to cop a blind one. She can't see any of that, and every time she tries to talk to production, she's always bawling and crying and saying, I love him from his bald head to his feet, even though he's a bit of a weirdo and creepy. What? Be careful. If I hear much more of that, I'll do a Mike and Ximena style list of everything you've called him. But she said even if he's weird and creepy, I still really, really love Gino. I love him with all my heart. No, don't buy it. You want to get to America. Next bit of evidence, the proposal. So Panama is known for its tropical climate and bright sunny days, but Gino decided to wait until it was chucking it down with rain to propose to his love, Jasmine. He got on one knee, told her he loved her, told her that she made him happy, and asked her to marry him. She said yes, of course. But then she told production, this is really crazy because just yesterday we're on the verge of splitting up and now we're getting married. Jasmine, I don't think you'll find crazy is the word for it. Asinine is what it is. Guys, I don't know what you think, but I don't think there's absolutely any way that Jasmine would agree to marry somebody who just disrespected her career, her body, her autonomy, not apologised in any meaningful way, thrown a little fit because she went through his phone, which she shouldn't have done, but you know, there we go, and then failed to apologise. That's the person that Jasmine has decided to get married to. She spent the whole season telling us she's high maintenance and she's very difficult to deal with. All of her friends seem to agree. She's a tricky customer, but not for Gino it would seem. Gino can treat her any old way and it's all forgotten about a mere 24 hours later. She told production, Gino's the man of my dreams. Really? I guess she dreams of a weak, balding, creepy dickhead. But guys, that's not all. Then Gino put some fugazi ring onto Jasmine's finger. And no word of a lie, Jasmine was so scared at actually looking at this ring with her naked eyes that she held her hand out for what seemed like an age. She didn't want to bring it closer to her, for she knew what she'd discover, that just like your husband-to-be, it's one cheap piece of shit. So as we mentioned before, it's bright gold. And I think I gave Gino a little bit too much credit before when I said it was a cubic zirconia. Now on second glances, it looks like it's perspex. Guys, it looks so janky I can barely believe my eyes. And it's got some sort of awful ribbing on the top. Honestly, I do not think he could have made a worse choice. And Gino eyed up the ring and he said, wow, I love it, it's beautiful. You guys, he's like some sort of hype man. He's giving me strong Flavor Flav vibes. If I didn't know better, I'd say that Gino was in sales. But guys, all Jasmine could say is, oh my gosh. He said, do you like it? She chuckled nervously and then she looked right up at him and you could see her little brain ticking over what to say. And then she said, it's and she was about to say nice and then she caught herself and said, it's a beautiful ring. I love it. I like it. It's getting worse and worse as it goes along. Next up, it's okay. I hate it. I never want to see it again. She doesn't like it, guys. She doesn't like it one bit. And then she said, but maybe because I know my fingers, they're so skinny and this ring's kind of big. And then she said, I don't know if it's a diamond or not. No, Jasmine, it's not. Like I told you earlier, it's perspex. And as she said this, she looked up at Gino and Gino looked shiftily at the camera. Gino, they can't help you. And then he put his hand on his chest and said, I'm not an expert in diamonds. Gino, you don't have to be an expert in diamonds to know that you cannot get a diamond and gold ring for $200 bloody. He's such a cheapskate, I can't put it into words. And then he said, I just bought it based off, well, comparing it to other rings that were in the store. Yes, for once, he's telling the truth. He looked at other rings and found them to be far too costly. So he decided to look at all the different racks and find the cheapest. He then purchased that one. That's how he chose. And then he said it looked the best to me. It did. The best value for money. And then Jasmine said, well, it screams Gino. Oh, really, Jasmine? Gosh, she really doesn't like it. So it screams homeless sports looks. Oh my God. That really is quite the diss. And so what's really interesting to me here is that Gino would have known that Jasmine would like a diamond engagement ring. And he brushes all of that to one side to buy the cheapest thing that he can possibly see. I had a quick look online and within 30 seconds of searching, I found a diamond ring for £700. So the truth be told, he didn't need to spend an awful lot of money on it. And I know he wants to say it's the thought that counts. And he's right. You would have thought he'd got her what she wanted. But Jasmine's happy to overlook all of this because what she really wants is that green card in her hand. So yeah, this week definitely convinced me it was all about that green card, but what other evidence do I have? Well, she's forgiven Gino for this whole debacle about sending her photos in the first place to his ex-girlfriend. She's forgiven Gino for even just texting and being in contact with his ex-girlfriend whilst they're in bed with her asleep, laying next to him. I gotta tell you, it's not something I'd forgive. You're absolutely mugging me off. Also, Jasmine said, it's really important to me that my mum likes Gino, and without her blessing, there'll be no wedding. Jasmine, I don't know your mama. And I might be wrong, but do you think that this face says blessing? Because as far as I'm concerned, it says, oh, for God's sake. This face says, what have I done to deserve this? This face says, anybody but Gino. That's what this face says. You haven't got your mum's blessing by a long stretch of the imagination, yet still you decide to marry him. And on to your kids. Your kids are yet to meet Gino. It could be that they absolutely hate him on sight. I wouldn't blame them. But that doesn't seem to be any sort of issue to you, and I think it would be if she were planning to spend the whole of her life with him. She's planning to do whatever it is, 3 years, 4 years, get that green card and go. I've no idea if she plans to bring her kids over to America or if they're going to stay living with their father. But either way, she's joining the ranks of Memphis and co, just marrying someone regardless of what her kids may or may not think. And another thing which I just find really suspicious, Jasmine always says, oh, he's an engineer, he's so brainy, he's so bright, I love intelligent men. And I think that Jasmine is probably quite intelligent herself. And it's interesting to say maybe Gino is, how can I say, maybe he's great at his job. I don't know. I don't even know exactly what job he does. I'd love to know what kind of engineer he is. But I digress. Intelligent isn't the word that I'd use to describe him. It really isn't. Jasmine told us she was a vegan. He cooked her eggs, even though she kept saying, I cannot have animal products. Jasmine told him, you need to take your hat off when you see my mum. He didn't invent psoriasis or some scalp condition to allay her fears. He just sat there like an idiot, waiting until she said, take your hat off, and then said, no, I won't. When Jasmine said, I'm not going to be able to teach anymore, I think I'll lose my job, he said, oh, never mind, work in a gym. You like the gym, don't you? Gino happily pays hundreds of dollars a time for sugar babies, but doesn't want to cough up for some sort of half-decent ring. So guys, please let me know what you think. Does Jasmine just want to be with Gino for the green card? Or maybe it's to be part of the TLC franchise, who knows? But one thing for sure, it's not Gino. I think Jasmine better wake up and see what's up. Every time she and Gino argue, regardless of whose fault it is, Jasmine always breaks the argument with a quick 180 and ends up apologising herself, thus encapsulating the level of her desperation. Guys, let me know what you think in comments down below and I'll get on with my next video. Please, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to my channel, hit it, press it, smash it, caress it, subscribe my friends, subscribe. Also smash the like button if you enjoy the content and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Ebird Online and I bid you good day.